Guys, this is really not going well, man. A friend of mine recently injured herself at BN, so she was prescribed the opioid TILIDIN. Since I also had some prescribed TILIDIN, we thought it would be a great idea to have a relaxing evening with this substance. But damn, that plan didn't work out. The evening was one of the most negative drug experiences. First, some basic information about TILIDIN. TILIDIN is a completely synthetic opioid developed in the 1970s. Primarily used for pain relief and can only be prescribed with a narcotic prescription. Unless one takes extended release tablets, it can also be prescribed with a regular prescription. Retarded tablets mean that naloxone is included and that the effect is spread over a slightly longer period and is weakened. TILIDIN was once dubbed the amok drug by the media because the guy who randomly attacked people with a knife in Berlin in 2006 was on TILIDIN. It seems to make one lose all inhibitions. According to the press, some criminals also take TILIDIN before committing robberies. According to reports, criminals on TILIDIN are particularly troublesome for the police because they are almost immune to pain, making items like pepper spray, clubs, or holds hardly effective in achieving their intended purpose. However, I am somewhat skeptical about such accounts because substances like TILIDIN actually tend to be more relaxing. An increase in aggression would only be conceivable due to withdrawal symptoms. In these articles, TILIDIN is taken as the scapegoat for aggression, although it likely involves either people who were already engaged in criminal activities but experience less fear and pain due to TILIDIN, or individuals who have slipped into drug-related crime due to opioid addiction. This is a problem that could be mitigated by more liberal drug laws. Like most opioids, TILIDIN has a considerable potential for addiction, and the side effects also include dizziness, drowsiness, fatigue, sweating, and constipation. At higher doses, death from respiratory failure can occur, and once one is dependent, one naturally suffers from severe withdrawal symptoms during detox. Since it is already quite a dangerous matter, it might even be good that my experiences with the drug were very negative. Now let's move on to the experience report. Unfortunately, we only had a prescription for delayed release 200 mg pills and took a total of 150 mg. 100 million normally as half a pill at midnight and 50 million a little later as a crumbled quarter pill. Over time, I felt increasingly relaxed. The part of the trip was quite pleasant, but not too intense now. Well, I think a cannabis high brings just as much joy. And I say this as someone who doesn't really celebrate cannabis that much. But let's see how the pain effect has developed. It's as if I'm feeling less pain now. Okay, it is definitely still very painful. So pain isn't really the right word because it's also kind of funny. Ha ha ha. Oh my god, this is so intense. During these initial effects, I was just at the laptop and suddenly it became very exhausting to look at the laptop. I could no longer concentrate on any fixed points. I couldn't focus on individual things at all. That went away for a moment and I did a Twitch live stream where I tried to get into Berghain. One thing that stands out to me is that I am extremely ineffective. I keep forgetting what I wanted to do so that's kind of strange because you usually associate that more with weed or something like that. So I feel like it's taking me forever to do anything right now. Now I'm doing a live stream where I'm testing the Berghain simulator. People often ask during the stream like, yo, are you on drugs or something? And I don't think I've ever streamed high. Once on 420, I consumed a bit of weed. But you never have to ask if I'm high because when I'm high I say it. And today, I have to confess that I mixed a bit of TILIDIN into my sausage sandwich. 2001.
Are you alone?
I am still alone.
Who is playing today?
Maybe you can play a little with my breasts.
Did you drink something?
Maybe I'll drink your juice today.
Not today.
Okay, he doesn't seem to be easily convinced when it comes to sex. If I hadn't mentioned it, probably no viewer would have noticed that I wasn't sober. Because I am a very hyper person, I probably appeared more sober to some than when I am actually sober.
Somehow right now, the effect is the best. It's like I've just chilled in that classic way. Everything feels so... I think to myself, everything feels so cozy. I think to myself, And you can also tell that I keep scratching.
Wait, you just threw up? Really? That's bad. But there's one last positive part coming up. Uninhibited sex.
Holy shit. I just had some damn good sex. And I have to say, the intercourse lasted forever. Somehow I felt that I could control when I would climax very well. And yes, I think it really lasted about 2 hours or so. It was so hot.
Yes, the sex was very good and long, but I don't know if that also became our downfall. One often reads that one shouldn't exert themselves too much on TILIDIN. The girlfriend had to vomit again immediately. Additionally, she had a severe headache, as if she had been drinking heavily the day before. She was also very shaky.
1,000 people. This is really not going well, man. So the lady I took it with was feeling really bad beforehand. She vomited several times and was shaking and everything.
It wasn't quite as bad for me as it was for her, but a little later, it also went in a similar direction. My hands became slightly shaky, and suddenly I felt so sick from one moment to the next that I ran to the bathroom as fast as I could, 2001, to vomit violently. It felt like everything I had eaten that day came out. After the vomiting, I felt a bit better, but even though I could tell my body was damn tired, I couldn't fall asleep until 8 because I felt so awful.
Everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. I don't know if I'm saying it more to you or to myself. The drug somehow causes this intense dizziness. At first, it was just a little dizzy. I was lying on the couch and thought to myself, oh yeah, that's fine, I can handle the dizziness. But then, just before I was about to throw up, there was this dizziness that was just unbearable for about 10 seconds. Really intense for those 10 seconds. And then it was like, oh, fuck. But I feel much better now. When you have to concentrate on something, it feels really strange like this. This evening didn't go the way I had hoped.
The next day, I still had a strange feeling in my head and occasionally a brief feeling of nausea. Oh yes, and constipation made it really hard to poop. It was like giving birth. It was much worse for the girlfriend. She felt extremely terrible the entire next day, as if she had drunk a bottle of vodka. Yes, the sex was quite good, but not good enough to justify experiencing all the side effects. And all the positive effects outside of the sexual act were not particularly impressive now. You can now speculate in the comments about why the experience was so bad for us. Was the dose too high? How hypersensitive is delayed TILIDIN associated with more side effects? We researched on the internet and found that experiences like ours are now not uncommon with TILIDIN. I have had significantly more pleasant experiences with related substances like tramadol or kratom. I hope that you will be just as deterred by my experience as I was. The experience report on Xanax will be coming soon. Subscribe to this cabal for that.